What is going on, people? Welcome back. Johnny here, and we are going to get back to some Rimhammer, the end times with the Dwarfs. I do appreciate the comments. There will be a door on the north end. Thanks for the comment on the bedrooms. And I agree, it would be cool to see them riding around on Rams. Once I get the Empire mod update, actually I did drop that in because we have the furniture. I did add a slew of different types of giant bears as a part of the current Empire update that is pending and has not hit Steam yet. So giant bears would be pretty awesome too, I believe. So anyways, we're going to see what we can do to make a lot of progress this time. Still smoothing, as you can see. A lot of stuff to do outside in terms of mining, but the steam pipe network is coming together nicely. I need to get everywhere covered. There's just too many gaps and spaces. We still have some mad dragon type things outside. I think I start every episode with mad dragons. We also never found the open space in the upper left of the map, so we'll have to see if we can't sort that out as well at some point. It's low priority, but anyways, one of the mad dragons got himself caught on fire by an exploding boomerang. Pretty phenomenal, I think. Take that, you bastard. So yeah, another fire situation. Explodes everywhere with a dry thunderstorm. I can't afford to let any wood burn. We're short on wood constantly, mostly due to the traps. So, and over here, we're still working on getting the Thumper location put in. When we get that Infestation Thumper in, that'll be the first major security step. Regardless, for now, there's just a whole lot of fires to run around and put out, and it's going to keep happening. Yes. If it's not a critter blowing up, it is dry lightning. Dry thunderstorm lightning, which is an interesting phenomenon that I've never experienced in real life. But there you go. Anyways, we're going to do some mining. I'm sick of looking at all these little squares everywhere, so I'm going to start getting these things taken care of. I do have a ton of mining going on the left side, so I need to not put in too many orders at once. The predators continue to keep us well stocked with meat. One of those dragons went down. We finished it off, but it did have Scaria. So there's a dwarf here willing to do some trading with us, and we do have some clothing we can get rid of, and we might as well do that. Eventually, if we just keep selling all the normal and poor clothing, we'll only end up with good quality or better. So we're going to work towards sturdier doors. We need doors and gates also. Right now we're using wooden dwarven doors, which are good, but not great, and we need to do something about that. The ogres show up again with some additional people in tow, knowing the ogres always have slaves. Hopefully we can acquire some people. There's a Laura Heavens warlock, but health-wise, it's just not looking good, so I'm not liking that. It's a whole slew of people here. I don't know. I'm kind of torn. We need certain skills. And this person was a sickly child, but quick sleeper, sickly kind. I don't want to deal with sickly. I've had enough with that. There's a slayer we're going to try and buy. This dude he's too old. He has too many issues associated with age, and that's going to be a major problem. So teetotaler, but non-violent. I'm not willing to go down that route. There's an ogre that's a creepy breather. I mean, not bad, but the ogres eat like beasts. He's also only 14 years old, so I'm not sold. We do have to find a ton of stuff to sell if we're going to make a purchase of a few people. And in the end, I decided not to take on any people for now. It's just a little bit frustrating, but there it is. Anyways, I don't want to sell the gold. I'm at a point where we're just going to start keeping all the gold that we have, and that's going to be that. So sadly, we don't expand this time. I do need to get some work stuff set up. I do have this raised ground spell as well we can use to bring the ground up anywhere we have water issues. And we do have plenty of magic points with Gotrik. I'm trying to wait till I get a teleport spell. Those are pretty awesome in terms of getting around the world map. More shelves are in order. We have blocks building up everywhere. Either I need to start constructing more or I need to start making additional storage. And it's at that point. Those ogres left a person behind, but he does eventually find his way off the map. And he He was dementiatic, probably went on a mental break. Making good progress on where the Thumper's going to go. I'm going to do some raised ground magic over here where we have mud issues. It'll also make for more fertile soil in that area. There you go. Look at that. And Gotrik's off about his day. I did miss one little tick of mud over there, which I find a little irritating, but it's okay. We don't have many uses for that spell on this map. It was just something interesting. So I am a little bit worried about Skyfallers and not having any defense against them. So I'm going to put in some trap tunnels on the internal sections here and see if we can't, not that we have the wood to make the traps, but at least we can be prepared. These darn boomalopes are freaking going down on our traps, and yet another trader from the ogre shows up. There's the boomalope. See if we can get those traps taken out, or sorry, fires put out before the traps get taken out by them, but they're never going to make it. The traps don't have many hit points. A lot of people, but nobody great. We're just going to sell a few random odds and ends. They don't have any pawns, again, that I feel good about, so I'm just not going to take anybody that's less than, I don't know, upper good. Let's go good quality at this point. They don't have to be great, but good pawns are going to be a must. So again, trap corridors going in. I can't build the traps yet, but preparation is key. We're going to have to build some fencing down here to keep the animals out of the traps and where they belong. That's also a bit of a headache. I need to get these walls built to keep the critters where they belong as well. You can see they've wandered all around. Just not terribly shocking. We need to stop fueling that fire outside too. Speaking of fire, I'd wager that's going to be another boomalope problem. And fencing, critical, keeping our stupid animals inside. We do have a lot of copper. I'm half torn on making things out of copper, but I've been doing all the furniture out of copper. Yeah, there's a fantastic amount of fire. Burning traps. Oh, look at this. We're ready to put our Thumper in. But at 45 wood per pop, it's an expensive endeavor. This does take 10 gold to build. Now, there's not much I can do for it. Either way, there's war. Speaking of fire issues, it looks like that's going to be the theme of this episode. Non-stop fires to fight. Not actually literally for once, not just typical RimWorld firefighting, because that's pretty much all this game is. A little bit of building and constant firefighting. And we're going to end his fire starting spree, which is not going to get us any catharsis, but at least it ends it immediately. So there you go. He's happily nude. We do need components, steel, and gold to build this, and it does consume a shiza ton of steam. Gonna have to get a second steam capture, geothermal steam capture. I don't know what you want to call them. Not whatever. Power plant. Something set up in the south where we have some extra geothermal vents. I was hoping we'd find one in the north inside so we could easily protect it. It's probably not going to be the case. Those are going to be prone to getting smashed up by Skyfallers as well, which is a bit of a headache. We're finishing up bedrooms with the smoothing. I've got a lot of people working on construction. We're moving people out. This is going to be a hospital area, maybe a prison or something else. I'll reclaim these wooden doors and we can just make a bunch of them out of copper. There's a few other copper veins sitting around. Even if it's good, I'm going to just deconstruct all this furniture, all the vanilla stuff. I'm going to upgrade to Rimhammer furniture. There's some Deckham Bamarsa lovin' coming in, and that's good for the moods. I wish more people would couple up. It'll at least help with the bedroom situation. I do rather like making these little weird dwarf warrens, which certainly doesn't apply to dwarfs, but this situation where they're just squeaking in wherever they can, it's working. So you can see this thing uses 3,000 steam. One generator is producing 3,600. So that's a bit of a it's not doing great, but at least we know where the infestations are going to happen, and that's worth anything at this point, considering how last game went. Probably we'll make that room it's in smaller at some point. Right now it's too big. We're going to invite a large infestation. These stupid boomalopes continue to explode on our traps. Clearly there's no food out there. I should just close that damn door and prevent this issue, because we're eating through all of our wood and getting absolutely no benefit other than fire. We do have a massive amount of critters at this point. I'm going to get rid of the goat since it can't breed with any of our other critters. Now, where to go from there? We need wood to build all these traps, or we need to make them out of something else. Maybe I can make them out of tin or something. I don't know what kind of damage they would do. I am getting this mining done, again, mostly so I can just get rid of all these little planning squares I put in earlier. Where do we go from there? We have sturdier doors. We need to get through war machines. I need gates, sturdier gates. There's a lot of things we need to accomplish in terms of research, but there's no massive priority. We still have a fair amount of security structure to put into place, which we will do at some point here. And it's time for a research room and some additional mining inside. See, we have steel veins in there as well. We need to clean up if we can. I need to get these tunnels dealt with at some point. I contemplate different ways to build this room. Just going to try and shoot for 3 research benches. We're on to firearms in terms of research. We are making really quick progress on that. So we can do grudge stores and grudge writs now with war machines and advanced war machines. Firearms, we want the flame cannons. And we also want an Empire research bench. Oh, I misspoke, because the Empire research won't be done until the end of this when we start upgrading the beds to Empire beds. But regardless of that, see, we have tons of food storage. I'll probably expand that space. Look at Stoneheart with the Belt of Ardor, just kicking ass on the smoothing. That's how you get stuff done, people. Just get a couple Belts of Ardor on your constructors, and yeah. All right, so manhunting wolves show up, not wolves, foxes show up at that point. Unfortunately, Stoneheart's relatively nearby. I don't think he's going to make it over there. We're just going to have to hide inside at this point. I do plan on putting a northern door access here. We do finish researching firearms at that point. There goes all of our traps once again. We did acquire more wood, but I'm going to get this Empire furniture research so we can get some basic bedroom furniture in place for the humans. Maybe for the ogre. I could build ogre beds too, just to show those off at some point, and I think I'll do that, but we need to make another research bench for that. Either way, carrying on with cleaning up this outside area, making it look how I want it to. I know it's not high priority. Those squares just drive me bananas. I don't want to lose all the planning I did. So improved furniture or weaving. We do have a lot of things we need to work through. And why not? Why not take a sidetrack? So you can see the new furniture is pretty awesome. There it is. Dino made that. He's a frequent poster over on the Discord and does some phenomenal artistic work. Please consider supporting him. If you think I'm shit and don't want to support me for the mods, that's cool. But Dino makes all the images. I just put it all together so you can play it. So there you go. Shout out to Dino. Again, this area is going to be a hospital and, oh god, there's a Hydra coming in. Anyways, a hospital and a couple prison rooms. And there's a war merchant, which, oh, they just start slaying critters right away for whatever reason. Well, we were trying to tame that thing. I don't know why they started shooting. Maybe a fox attacked it or something. I don't know. Anyway, we do need to send somebody out to do some trading. We've been using Chaco. I don't like using a human to represent a dwarf colony, but there it is. They don't really have anything for us, so there won't be a trade. These guys are less than spectacular. And once again, we have to rebuild all the traps. The foxes cleared out of their own accord, and we do have predators, as always, very active. We do finish researching dwarven gates at that point. Trying to get through everything I need for security. We're going to map out a big security. Given the wood issues, I'm going to get dwarven planting going. Now, we don't have the ability to make floors, what do you call it, gravel floors for growing, whoa. You know, it's always something here. Anyways, gravel floors for fungal plants, but that's okay. We have dwarven planters. We can build a bunch of those. They're somewhat intensive in terms of materials, but it is what it is. We need to get fungal plant growing wide open so we can have as much of that stuff on hand as we can. And It won't be long. So there's our hospital laid out with shelves for medicine, and there's where our prisons are going to go, just below it. Seems like a pretty legitimate spot, close to the medicine when we capture people that are injured. I don't know what we're going to do if we take more than 2 prisoners at once, but hopefully that's not a big issue. We do find tin and copper over here, and over here we are already ready to build dwarven planters. They take a lot of work when they're made of stone, so it's going to take a little while to get them all up and running. I should put some light in there. No sense planting anything until until they're all built, because the light's going to kill the plants because they're fungus. So we will just carry on and build them, and then we'll worry about getting them planted. It's also going to take a long time to get all those planted, at least until winter strikes and people aren't dealing with the regular plants all the time. We do have clay, stone, tin. So I'm looking at strength here. Looks like tin adds is only 30% of strength versus if you use a more legitimate material. We do get an Empire trader. It's an Empire goods trader. They have a cleaning statue. I'm going to put that in the hospital. I'm not going to sell any gold, so it just is what it is. But we do have all kinds of random stuff. There's an Empire royal bed. The new royal beds are awesome. There's a great stag mount. That's something cool that was recently added to Empire. So I'm going to start showing off some of the Empire stuff here. Let's put that in our feasting hall. Seems legit. There's also great stags that were added to the game, as well as the bears I mentioned previously. So let's get this cleaning statue set up definitely inside the hospital. If we leave that door open, it'll affect that room nearby too, but I'm not going to do that. One problem with the wood is all the doors take 50 wood as well, so there's just a lot of stuff. I bought some meds as well. Some of their guys get into a fight with each other at that point, which if they go down, there's a dead guinea pig. We can take it for whatever little bit it's worth, especially when half of it's eaten. But we're going to build a bunch of beds in here. That needs to be done as well. There we go. Not a problem when you have these constructors on hand. Now, the smoothing gets slowed when I have them work on other stuff like that. But hey, it is what it is. Need some proper light and heat. I need to run steam pipes over there. But as you can see, all of our planter beds are done, and we're getting our fungal plank put in. Now, they do mature very slowly, especially if the temperatures aren't ideal, so I may have to get some kind of vent heater setup going on over there. And it's at that point that the Amboss tribe shows up, and it looks like they're pretty pissed off at us. I wonder if I can make this Hydra mad enough to deal with them for me. They are breachers, but that doesn't much matter to us because they can breach the outside wall all they want. We're still going to do our thing. Now, we do have the magic I need to pay attention to. The snare is a pretty awesome spell. It'll drop several of them. Better slow it down a little bit. Look at all them freaking breacher hands. They're just hacking up the mountain, too, which is fine because I was going to do that anyway. Rot Bomb does have a rather large area. There you go. Look at that nonsense. We're taking some pretty bad shots here. I probably should slow it down a little bit, but once I get some magic set up. Yetta's still inside. I can't use her magic. We do have Final Trans. Let's see if we can convert a fricker to gold here. Come on. Fail. Can't work every time, people. And I don't think we have the capacity to cast that again really quick. I'm trying to focus the magic on the people with the bows that are doing us damage here. I guess they're the ones that are really a headache. Now, at some point, we'll have awesome armor. And there you go. There's that Nurgle spell. Sounds like someone barfing. That voice may sound familiar. There goes Peterson with the burning, piercing. What is it? What was it? I don't remember what that one was called, but whatever. Yetta's out here. We can do Yetta's spell. And Morrison's taking some serious wounds. We need to get to fighting here and get these guys to bugger off if we're going to have any chance. I need to get into their people. Maybe if some oh, there's Toothcracker. Maybe some sandbags or some barricades are in order here. So we're getting swarmed. There's a lot of them, and we're taking a lot of punishment from the bows. There's still a lot of them filtering in. We haven't even seen all of them at this point. I don't like those new metals. Some of it looks gold. I think it's bronze that looks gold, but so I get excited thinking I'm going to get a bunch more gold, but then it doesn't happen. Alright, can we start dropping fools now? We are getting our asses kicked. We have 2 dwarfs down, doing the best, but our magic is doing something worthwhile. There's Nurgle's Boon, but that just cures a disease. That's not going to do me much good. I need to get my melee people. I wish you could just set them to go around and attack. Like, hey, just go attack the nearest next person. And I think they will, actually, if you undraft them. But for some reason, I'm a psycho in terms of controlling my pawns. So, whatever. This battle's not going well, as you can see. Yitta's got a throwing axe. She keeps chucking that at Norm there. I wonder why Norm's name is all lowercase. I have no idea. Come on. There we go. Finally, a break. We got a lot of people that we have to rescue, and hopefully nothing else goes wrong before we get everybody inside. We have 4 dwarfs down, pretty much everybody injured, almost everybody bleeding as well. Fortunately, Bamarsa somehow is wearing Beastman armor, so for whatever it's worth. We need to get everybody rescued. That's going to be the top priority here. So we get them all dragged in. The cleaning statue will periodically clean up all the blood. It just did it, if you caught that. So we don't have to worry as much about infections at this point. So at least we got something going for us here. But that was brutal. Again, everybody tended. It does take well into the night. Everybody's tired and crabby. Somebody shows up to trade, a fella named Arnold, and we do have some bows. We took off those guys. Mostly I'm selling them just to clear some space. And another ogre trader shows up as well at that point, because why not, I guess. We're not sitting on a mountain of cash at this point either, but we can probably... I'm not selling gold. I'm going to do my... unless it's something very necessary, but we are going to... I'm thinking about buying this guy, and I do bite the bullet on it. So we have tons of weapons and some apparel and stuff to sell, so why not? So we do manage to grow a little bit this time. There's also ambrosia on the map I should be harvesting, so we can have something to give to people. A little bit of the fungal plank is planted, but at least we have our Infestation Thumper up this time. That is most important, and our prison's ready to go too. So we do have a hospital and a prison now. That's proper as well. Infestation Thumper being the main thing. But please leave me a like if you're enjoying. Leave a comment. I read them all. I do respond. Next up, we're going to start working on major security out front. I love you guys, and I will see you later.